Hello, I'm Super Orange Cat here. I'm today with a general Toonami news update. Today was another one of those days where there was actually quite a bit of new news regarding Toonami. So, again, I guess I have enough to make a video. First things first, the thing I think is the biggest news is the fact that I 100% called the fact that Dragon Ball Super will marathon. Well, specifically, I said that July 4th will be a marathon day because, it's kind of tempting it being right on a holiday like that. So they're going to take advantage of it, which kind of implicitly means that they don't really have an answer for what to do after My Hero Academia yet. Or at the very least, they're buying themselves 1 week to kind of think about things. As you might know, the season 4 finale, My Hero Academia, is airing this Saturday night. And after that, there's no new My Hero Academia. So they have to decide what to do with their leadoff slot, which is the most important slot to have. Some people say they're going to rerun it from some point. Some people say they're going to rerun it from the back. I haven't seen anyone who said that, oh, they're just going to completely get rid of My Hero Academia. Like, it's a good enough show in terms of pulling in people that it's going to have some niche on the block, even as reruns, as them running reruns the past few weeks have actually done kind of all right. So maybe they'll take advantage of that. But again, back to Dragon Ball Super. It will be marathoning on Toonami on July 4th from midnight to 4. It'll actually be 4 hours that night. And it'll be episodes 60 through 67. And now here is the announcement given on Toonami's Facebook page. To celebrate the 4th of July, we're running a Dragon Ball Super Marathon with a special bonus hour, 12 a.m. to 4 a.m. We'll show episodes 60 to 67. And then the following Saturday, 7/11, Toonami is welcoming back Dragon Ball Super to kick off the block at midnight with the start of the Universal Survival Saga. And I am just realizing I actually just finally fully read that second paragraph. So we have an answer right there. This block will be leading off with Dragon Ball Super, which is something I actually kind of predicted for a change. I said Dragon Ball Super, especially Dragon Ball Super, is probably going to find its way back on the block because it's a guaranteed ratings getter, and they have it. So I called it. It's rare I could actually say that here, But again, Dragon Ball Super is back. So after all this time of us talking about the theoretical scenario of Dragon Ball Super no longer being the front of the block, how can Toonami survive? We have come literally full circle, and now we have Dragon Ball Super leading the block again. So 2020 has been a hell of a year, hasn't it? And again, this kind of just shows kind of the predicament that Toonami's in still, where they have to look at the shows that they have the rights to air. They don't own Dragon Ball Super, by the way. I believe that's Toei Animation, who's still, I think they got the initial contract from Toei Animation to actually air it. I don't think Toei Animation actually holds the rights to the show anymore, the English dub at least. But back then they did, and I heard that Toonami actually negotiated a pretty good price for it. So they're just taking advantage of it while they can. I don't know how long their license is up for to still air it. Like I said, they do not own Dragon Ball Super. So they can only air episodes for a certain amount of time. And I guess they still have it, And that's just interesting to see how it will do. They had Dragon Ball Super episodes leading off Toonami on Saturday nights at 8. Not Toonami, leading off Adult Swim on Saturday nights at like 8-ish o'clock. And it gets roughly 0.1, which sounds like, oh, it's terrible. But again, not many people are actually watching TV at Saturday at 8, much less people than around midnight, because when you're late at night, you're finally back home and you're watching TV again. And again, the general reception I've seen by just reading on some of these comments is generally positive, and I would be positive too. This is probably as good a move Toonami really could have made here. Now, more news. I pointed out on my Twitter yesterday that Fire Force Season 2, Funimation is going to try to simuldub it, which I find hysterical. Because if you've been paying attention to anime, Funimation has kind of come under fire with how they've done their dub at home strategy, like how it took weeks and weeks to produce episodes of My Hero Academia, which is part of the reason why we had that brief rerun cycle where we saw the gentle criminal fight like 10 times, and the fact that Black Clover hasn't been that forthcoming. It takes weeks on end to get episodes for that. And they're gonna try, I guess, to do it week after week for Fire Force. As you might know, Season 2 for Fire Force debuts in Japan on July 3rd. And there's been no announcements yet of when this is going to be on Toonami. And my word of advice for Toonami is, regardless of how tempting it might be to just pick this up because it's going to be a dub available show we aired Season 1 on, which 99% of the time, Toonami will pick it up. And Toonami will eventually pick up Fire Force Season 2. I would highly against them picking it up sooner. Hold off a little bit, because I do not see Funimation being able to hold up this type of schedule well. They are not going to be able to do this weekly. And people are talking about, oh, they're going to be dubbing in Texas. It's like, no, they're still going to be dubbing at home, which makes this hysterical. If they somehow try to do this back in Texas, back in their dubbing studios there, then it could work. However, there's issues with people maybe not wanting to actually go into centralized places with the current conditions we have now. But again, nonetheless, this is just Funimation. What the hell are you doing? Funimation, you're well known. You're probably more well known for your dumb decisions than the actual anime at this point. But like, at least think things through. Like, we know you're probably desperate at this point, but just try to be measured with some of these things. Like, you like, because I know they're also going to be kind of desperate because they just finished My Hero Academia, and that is the cash cow that Funimation has right now. And really, looking at the roster, you just like, you could point out some stuff like, oh, Black Clover, of course, Certain Scientific Railgun, of course. And I heard Fruits Basket has a decent audience as well. Other than that, I mean, there's not that much to pick at that has a massive following. They have a lot of like niche style anime from what I've seen. And that can't be pulling in much money. So I think this is more of a desperation maneuver on Funimation's hands. And Toonami, if they pick this up like sooner rather than later, then they're going to have to replace it quickly or do some weird rerun thing involving it, because they're not going to get week after week episodes. This is a stupid, short-sighted plan that is doomed to fail from Funimation. And nonetheless, one more bit of news today, and that is Adult Swim Con. Now, since there is no Comic Con this year, which I reported on a couple of months ago, they're gonna kind of do. Adult Swim is gonna try to do their own thing. Like, and this is from Jason Demarco. This is from his Twitter, his exact announcement he made regarding it. And I forgot to screen cap it, so I'm gonna read it. Toonami fans, since we won't have a real Comic Con this year at Adult Swim, are having our own con. And on Saturday night, Toonami will be featuring interviews and info about Blade Runner, Black Lotus, Uzumaki, and some upcoming show announcements. Tune in. It will be a fun night. And ideally, this means that we finally get the treasure trove of information I've been hinting at for a long time. But at the same time, Toonami, at the same time, it's going to be like, I wonder what we actually will get, because up to this point, like, I'm just going to give a brief synopsis of what we know so far. Blade Runner, all we know is that apparently the music is good. The music is good. That's all Jason DeMarco will talk about when he talks about Blade Runner. And it's supposed to come out sometime in 2021. We don't know when yet. Uzumaki. Back last, I want to say August, we got like a teaser trailer where we saw some images, some, I think, brief animation bits from the miniseries. And also, since then, we just really, all we got was one video from Crunchyroll featuring Junji Ito, the mangaka of Uzumaki, where he talked about how he was pleased with it and how he was really excited about it. And also, about a week or two ago, we got something from Uzumaki's official Twitter page where it was some storyboards of episode 1. So based on that, there's not much you can really piece together there. And it's going to be interesting to see what this info is here. I mean, are we going to get a trailer? Are we going to get a premiere date? I don't know. And honestly, I feel like this is going to be end up being a bit disappointing for us here. Don't expect Uzumaki to come out and be like, have a full 3-4 minute trailer or anything. That's probably all the animation they have right now. And also of Blade Runner, it's going to be interesting to see where they are with that. Because again, I don't know, like they don't even announce if it's going to be like a January 2021 or a December 2021, which means it can be in completely different stages with it. And the Adult Swim Con by itself is July 23rd to 25th, which is about a month away. But apparently this Saturday night, Toonami is going to be giving interviews and information about it. So that's going to be interesting, and I will keep posted about that, by the way. And it's going to be interesting to see if this is a nothing burger or if this is big info bomb we've been looking for the longest time. But again, what do you guys think? What's your opinions on that announcement? The other news, Dragon Ball Super Marathon, Dragon Ball Super finally going to be a mainstay once again on Toonami, as it probably should be. And the other news being that Funimation is going to do something really stupid. What do you guys think? Leave your opinions down below. I love reading your comments. I love reading your opinions. And again, if you like this content for more content, please like, please subscribe, and hit that notification button. I'm Super Orange Cat, and that is all.